Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Nicola Thompson at Inner Vision Therapy, and I talk to you and make videos about all aspects of caring for your mental health so that you can find ways to look after your mental health yourself and to recognise when you might need to seek help, maybe from a GP or a therapist. So today I want to talk to you about anxiety. What is anxiety? How do I recognise it? And what can I do to help myself if I feel that I have anxiety? Anxiety is a sense of unease or worry that doesn't seem to go away. It can be mild and it can also be more severe. Anxiety is the symptom of several different conditions such as panic disorder, post-traumatic stress syndrome, social anxiety disorder. But today I want to talk about generalised anxiety. If you have generalised anxiety, you might feel anxious about several different situations and not just one. You might feel anxious most of the time, perhaps during the day and the night, during your waking life, and also having anxious dreams. So generalised anxiety can affect you physically and mentally. It can have psychological effects and physical effects. So I want to talk to you first of all about how to recognise some of the symptoms and then how you can get some help. Very important to stress that I am not a GP. I'm a therapist and I'm giving you advice here and some of my own experience. I'm also referring to the NHS website, and I put a link to that in the description below this video. So that's really important to note, that I am not a GP, I am not prescribing or diagnosing, but I'm here to offer you some suggestions, some insight into feeling that there is something that you can do to manage your anxiety. So what are some of the symptoms that you could be looking out for? So some of the psychological symptoms might be feeling restless, having a sense of dread, feeling constantly on edge, having difficulty concentrating and sometimes being irritable. So those are some of the psychological symptoms that can happen to you. And there are also physical symptoms. And like the other symptoms I just mentioned, these can be different for every single person. You may have some of these symptoms, you may have all of them, or you maybe only have one or two. So what physical symptoms could you be looking out for if you feel that you might have generalised anxiety? So some of the physical symptoms that you might have could be feeling a little bit dizzy, feeling restless, maybe feeling sick or nauseous, feeling a little bit short of breath, feeling very tired, feeling that your heartbeat is raised, possibly feeling a little bit sweaty, having stomach ache, headaches possibly. Anxiety can also affect your sleep patterns and your eating patterns. You might find it difficult to get off to sleep, or you might find that you wake several times in the night. So having anxiety is quite exhausting. And if you have any of those symptoms, again, I strongly suggest that you go to your GP in the first instance to talk about how you're feeling and get some advice and see how they might be able to suggest ways to help. And as I said, you can also look on the internet. There's great advice on the NHS website. There's the Mind website that you could look at too. And there's also a website called Anxiety UK. I'll put all of the links to these websites in the description below my video. One of the things that a lot of these sites and your GP may recommend are things that you can do to help yourself while you're waiting for treatment. So there are several things you can do. The first one is try and make sure that you're eating regularly. Have regular meals and make sure that you are getting some fuel for your body. As I said, this is exhausting. Try and get regular sleep. Even if you don't fall asleep or you have difficulty sleeping, try and go to sleep at a regular bedtime so that at least your body is preparing for the night and you're rested. Another thing to do is maybe to build some routine into your day. Perhaps having meals at regular times, perhaps setting aside some time in the day to do some relaxation, perhaps setting aside some time in the day to phone a friend or a relative. And that brings me on to the next point, which is to have some connection. So stay in touch with friends. It can be very easy to shut yourself away and not want to talk to anybody because you don't want to worry them, you don't want to bother them, maybe you don't feel like talking. But it's really important to keep some connection, even if that's with text. And also to do some exercise. Now this can be any kind of exercise that you enjoy. Some kind of movement for your body. It doesn't have to be suddenly taking up jogging or cycling. Do something to get your body moving that you enjoy doing. It could be walking. It could be walking around your garden, walking around the block. It could be doing some press-ups, some push-ups, some sit-ups. Whatever it is that you enjoy that gets your body moving, that's what you can do for your exercise. And try and do it regularly. 2 or 3 times a week is good. But do it as often as you're able to and make sure you enjoy it. It's so important that you do something that you enjoy. You can also contact support groups. There may be a support group in your area. As I said, you could look on the internet at the Mind website, the NHS website, and also Anxiety UK. Anxiety UK very often can recommend support groups that might be in your area. And another thing to do is teach yourself ways to relax. Sometimes it can be almost impossible to relax when you're suffering with anxiety. But if you can find ways that help you to relax and teach yourself to do it, that can be a really good way of breaking that cycle of anxiety. So one of the ways that I recommend that can help you relax is to maybe listen to some calming music. Maybe do something that you really enjoy doing, whether that's taking a nice bath or reading a book, watching your favourite programme on TV. And if it's taking you some time out that you're relaxing, do something that you enjoy. If you look on my website, you'll find on the shop tab that there are some relaxation audio recordings that I've made that you can download. You could also look at my videos on mindfulness on my YouTube channel. There's a course of videos, short videos on mindfulness, and any of those might help you in learning how to relax. Mindfulness is a really good way to tune into your body, take some time out. When you're feeling stressed or anxious, just do something that's mindful. So have a look at those videos. There might be something there that helps you. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope it explains a little bit about anxiety. It's common, it happens to many of us, but sometimes when it takes over your life, it can feel overwhelming, it's exhausting. So the best thing to do, seek help from your GP. Check out the links in the website in my description below. Subscribe to my page so you can see more of my videos, and look after yourself. So until next time, go well.